What's up, everyone? I'm Jack Fossett, and today we are going to take a trip back to the 1950s with Gunstreet. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to this demo and review of this great 1950s Stratocaster pickup set from Gunstreet, who is a company that I've just started to do a collaboration with. This is a sponsored review. They've sent me a couple of pickup sets to check out, and this is a guitar that I have that many of you have seen. It's an old American vintage Stratocaster where I actually had the body refinished by MJT. A whole story there in a video that I've done, which I can link to. This is a guitar that I really like. The pickups that were originally in it were a little bit dark sounding, and they were still good pickups. They were, the old American vintage style pickups, but I kept thinking about wanting to upgrade them, and anyway, I found out about Gunstreet, who also do a lot of wiring harnesses, and it seems like they, really had some cool stuff going on. So I reached out to them to see if they'd be interested in doing some collaborative reviews, which they were, and this pickup set really brought the guitar to life a little bit more. It added some sparkle, it added some more of that really sweet 50s Strat tone that I seek. I like the 50s Strat tone the best. That's my personal favorite. Now, the 60s Strat tone is great also, and I actually think that might even be the more quintessential Stratocaster tone if somebody thinks of a really stratty tone. The 60s one comes more to mind. That's more like the sound that you get associated with something like Stevie Ray Vaughan or John Mayer, or, that sort of quacky, more scooped tone. Whereas the 50s tone, it was still bright, but it had a fatness to it. Now, obviously, there could be other things going on there besides just the pickups. Obviously, the maple fingerboard has something to do with that. But the 50s Strat sound is definitely a bit different than the 60s Strat sound. It's one that I've always really, really enjoyed. A combination of the fatness plus the brightness, and I don't know, there's something about it that I just found very, very charming. It sustains a little bit differently. It's something that you can drive in a different way that I particularly like. Now, what's cool about this set too, this uses Alnico 5 magnets, and what's cool about it is that even though it's very much a vintage inspired set and gets a lot right on the vintage sort of spec thing, it also gives you a reverse wind, reverse polarity middle pickup, so you get the hum canceling on the 2 and 4 position, which practically just makes a lot of sense. I've played in clubs with bad wiring, and if you have a Stratocaster where it's noise canceling on the 2 and 4 position, that's where you are the whole night. It really helps a lot. And again, these added that fatness and that sparkle in a way that I think this guitar sounds a little bit more like it should sound, basically. So today I'm plugging into a Super Royal Reverb. For the overdriven tones, I'm using a J-Rocket El Hombre overdrive pedal. And what I want to do now is go back and give you full tonal profile of these pickups. You heard it at the beginning in a blues jam, which seemed appropriate for a 50s style Strat pickup set. But also in the intro jam, I used the neck, middle, and bridge position, which on an original Stratocaster, that's what you would have had on the switch. Obviously, though, you could kind of get the switch a little bit. And I've had a three-way Strat switch, where you can do that. You can kind of get it a little bit, sort of wedge it between the settings, and that's where you got the 2 and the 4 sound, which eventually became, the actual 5-way switch. But in the beginning, I just wanted to show you, those sort of classic Strat tones. Now we're going to do all 5 positions, both clean and overdriven. So let's dive back in and hear what these pickups are really capable of. All right, everyone, let us know what you think in the comments. Again, this is my first experience with Gunstreet, and my first experience has been very positive. I really like the way that these pickups sound. I think the company's doing some really cool stuff. I like that they're emphasizing some wiring harnesses. I've always been a firm proponent of wiring harnesses and upgrading the wiring, even sometimes before changing out the pickups. I think good quality wiring can make a big difference in a guitar. I do not have a Gunstreet wiring harness in this guitar, but I have upgraded the wiring on my own. So this is not the old stock wiring from the guitar, just FYI. But again, I think these pickups sound really good. They really brought this guitar that next level up to life. The pickups that were in it before weren't bad at all, but these are definitely a step up in a way that makes the guitar just more inspiring to play. So I'm going to link below to where you can check out Gunstreet, these pickups, all their other stuff, and also get more detailed specs if you're interested. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.